Well, there have been races canceled all season long across Europe, as you know, and this one nearly was as well. It has just been so warm, but as you can see today, it is still warm, but we are racing. And Brian, in fact, the condition on the course is pretty good.
It's going to be fast. Not quite that fast as those jets, but what happened overnight, it was completely clear. That moisture from the last couple of days in the snow came to the surface and froze the top of the surface. So it's going to be extremely hard and fast today on this difficult course.
And you're looking at the first man out of the gate wearing bib number 1. This is a young German, 23-year-old Stefan Kepler. So this will give you an opportunity, Brian, to sort of take us through this this terrific, legendary track here in Wengen.
Now take a deep breath because this is a long one. That's the Russi jump right up top. We're not going to see this section of the course because it is so long. And then a new jump here into the Traversen shoes. Big flight, wow, for Kepler. You got to stay forward there, probably 40 or 50 meters flying in the air. And then into my favorite part of the Wengen downhill, into the Hundshof. You see the Eiger Mountain in the background, and then a big S-turn coming into the Hundshof. There it is, big jump straight down that elevator shaft. You have to have the proper direction there, or you're going to end up in the rocks that the skiers traverse down in between. Then over the Minchkante and in the Canadian corner, where we've seen a number of Canadians fall in the past. That's why they've named it aptly there. And the Brugli S, look how close he is to that fence. Got to bring that S-turn around and watch out. Right up on the bank, that blue dye there for the racer's vision. Oh, they're underneath the tunnel. We've seen that before. That means good luck. I've said it before. I'll say it again.
When the train's going by?
When the train's going by, when the racer goes underneath that, they're going to see that for sure. Your eyes are wide open on this track, and that's supposed to mean good luck. So Kepler's in his tuck, crossing his fingers right now that his skis are fast.
Well, you talk about, you know, how treacherous the course is. I guess you can actually use the word dangerous, too. This course has caused some serious troubles in the past for some races.
Yeah, absolutely. People have died on this course before, and at excess speeds of 140 kilometers an hour. Wow, look at Kepler, 143 down the Honigschus. Then another big S-turn. That blue dye again there just for the racer's perspective, but on a brilliant sunshiny day, they should have no problem seeing all these bumps. Seeing the Austrian hole there, aptly named for 4 Austrians who went down in the early 70s. And then the most difficult section of this course, the 2 turns at the bottom, because your legs are totally screaming.
And there is Stefan Kepler. And Brian, that was a great job of analyzing this course as we go down. So Stefan Kepler is through.
And this is the new jump up top that they've seen to put in there. Big right-handing turn. Your skis are loaded as you go off, and wow, look at him right here. You can see his shadow tells you how far he is. Almost going 10, 20, 30, 40 meters, it looks like. He's still going up right now, probably because he didn't have the greatest position in the air, and boom, he lands right at the 50-meter mark. And wow, is he a lot faster than he was in training, almost 6 seconds faster.
Well, and somehow they did manage to squeeze in a training run for this one. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to hold the race without a training run. Here is 31-year-old Italian Roland Fischnaller. 1 career podium. His best was a 3rd at Val d'Isère a number of years ago. No top 10s this year. You know, Brian, I was talking about how treacherous, and we both were, how dangerous this course is, and yet viewers at home are watching here, and it looks like it's not that challenging in a lot of places, but it's because it's so long. Guys are dead when they get to the bottom. Exhausted.
Yeah, it's just stinking long, and you know, you almost have to have a high stable tuck in the middle of the course to conserve your energy at the bottom. At least that's what I used to do, but I was never in the greatest shape. This difficult S-turns at really speeds that you don't see normally in downhill. Very slow section of the course, and that Brugli S, tough to get any pressure on your ski to make those 220-centimeter skis bend and arc around those turns, so you have to kind of nurse it around there, and then boom, up to 142 kilometers an hour about a minute later down the Honigschus.
Fischnaller with a very good interval, more than a second quicker than the man before him, Kepler.
This is where you get to take a bit of a breath before the last couple of turns. Whoa,
oh, there he goes. Fischnaller is down and into the netting. I can't see from that camera angle the result of his crash, but he's obviously finished and hopefully okay.
He looked like he hooked that blue gate right there, got him twisted around. He didn't absorb that bump and got high-sided, way out of balance, and boom, did he go into that net. You can see Kepler looking on, and he's a little worried, and so is Fischnaller's coach. They've got the yellow flag out there. That means the racer is already on course.
Well, as you can see, the good news for Roland Fischnaller is he is up on his feet and completely mobile on his own. So that's great news to see, and he's even smiling. So good news for Roland Fischnaller. Bad news is he didn't finish the race. As we move along now with the men's downhill on Wengen, this is Pierre-Emmanuel Dalsin, 29-year-old Frenchman, has better results in Super G than in downhill. There's a good early interval compared to that time to Stefan Kepler.
Whoa, and a little hairy coming into the S-turn over the Hundschaft. Nice line there, right tight to the net. All you do is line yourself up with the edge of that fence. Over the Mitch Conte, getting on that left ski for that big right-hander through the Canadian corner. Dalsin's done that well. He's 11th in the first training run, so looking to pick up on that a little bit. Ooh. You can ride up that bank.
You did a little bit there,
yeah,
too.
It might slow you down a little bit, but you don't want to brake coming out of the Bruglie S. That will definitely slow you down.
Very good intervals here for Pierre-Emmanuel Dalsin.
They've only had one training run on Thursday. They canceled the Super Combined race yesterday because it was so warm in slushier conditions, but it is frozen solid now, and it makes it extremely tough on these last couple turns. Nice straight line. Gonna press that finish jump. Whoa, big fight.
And your legs at that point are just on fire, and when you come down there, that's the result, and that happens every year, doesn't it, to somebody? Wow. So he's cut through the finish line, at least, as we now watch the 26-year-old American. This is Marco Sullivan, wearing bib number 11.
I think he was a little embarrassed by his fall in the finish, but happy that he looked up and saw that number 1 on there and way out in front. Wow, Sullivan's way wide.
He's wide again, wide a couple of places there.
The Americans and the Canadians playing hockey together, and it's like Sullivan's bouncing off the boards here. He's so wide, my goodness.
You talked about how they managed to get a training run in. There was concern that they wouldn't be able to do it because the course was so delicate that they feared that one training run would ruin it, and they wouldn't be able to race. As we watch Sullivan crash hard against the netting there.
And his helmet has come off, and man, did he go into that padding hard. Moving his fingers, so making sure everything's okay, and you can see his coaches, Scott McCartney, another U.S. racer, looking on, and it's good news to see Sullivan up and moving with a smile on his face. You can hear Gunther Huara, the referee, asking him if he's all right. What happens here? He just gets his hips caught way back down there. Look how far his rear end is towards the snow, and skis pointing right into the padding, and you know where he's going to end up next when his skis are pointing there. You hear Hujar asking him if he's all right.
How are you guys today? Okay? Marco! Was your helmet really fixed?
Yeah.
You saw it. You came down until here.
Guess I hit pretty hard.
Yeah, but it should never happen that the helmet comes off.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, no kidding, it should. Marco's telling Gunther Hujar